Do you ever get it like where some days you're like, man, why am I even doing this?
Yeah,
Like,
all the time. Absolutely all the time. Yeah, all the time. All the time. And like, I'm not frugal. I have a Domino's, you know, we have a Chinese, but we have like, we might have one a week on date night, and we'll have one a week because we've got young kid and we've got 2 young kids.
Yeah.
So we're not going out to restaurants really and stuff like that at the moment.
Yeah.
But the people that are going out to restaurants or pubs twice a week and having Domino's twice a week and having KFCs at lunch and this and that, you know, it's too much. I'm not saying, and I've never said cut it all out.
Yeah.
It's just do a little bit of it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like goes back to like with everything going up, everyone's still got to getting their takeaways.
Yeah.
Everyone's
absolutely.
still getting like consuming.
Yeah. Everyone's still bitching and moaning, but they're carrying on, living exactly the same.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
There's always like opportunities everywhere.
Yeah,
like especially with lockdown. Like, I think it was like some crazy amount of millionaires made throughout lockdown, just from the advantages of what that. Like everyone indoors, everyone online. Yeah,
there's opportunities at every instance. I mean, we saw that with Zoom, didn't we? Their share price just went through the roof and everything else like that.
Yeah, like Deliveroo and stuff like that. Amazon. Yeah. I think I forgot what the statistic was now, but like the Royal Mail shares went mental throughout lockdown. And I think it was my brother telling me that I should have invested into the Royal Mail because they went up quite a lot during that. And it's just, I think it's always looking on the flip side of things. Like when there's a negative, there's always a positive. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, and that's a great approach. That there's always, whenever anything happens, there's something good that can come out of it and something bad that can come out of it. And I feel like most people will automatically focus on the bad stuff, but focus on the good stuff. I learned a little saying that quite often if we was to start a business or something like that, or start a new venture, we always think of the worst things that could happen. What if it doesn't work out? What if I don't get any customers? What if I can't market it and this and that? But we never ask ourselves, well, what if it does work out? Yeah. What if it works out better than we ever could have imagined?
It's always like, I think it's always the first step people are afraid to make. Yeah. Because once you make that jump, it just kind of snowballs.
Yeah, absolutely.
From that.
Absolutely. I'm a big believer in momentum. And that's it. And once you're doing something, you're there. Same as going to I'll try and bring back the gym, because at the end of this podcast, I want you to turn around and go, thanks for ticking off all 3 subjects.
That is it. Don't worry.
It's an easy thing. But if, once you're in the habit of doing something all the time, you'll carry on doing it. And it's hard to break that habit, whether it's a negative habit, as in spending too much time on Netflix and TikTok and everything else, or whether it's a good habit of drinking your 2 litres of water a day or 3 litres of water a day, going to the gym or doing your Spanish lessons or them form of self-improvement, if that's your bag.
It's just like building a routine slowly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like, I always like, especially because I go to the gym and I focus on powerlifting, and that's like what I do fitness-wise. And I always get to a point where I'm like going really well, and then I get injured. Right. And then it sets me right back again. Yeah. And then, because you got to take so many weeks off because of injury, and then it kind of like knocks your routine because you're used to not going, and then it's always the hardest part, then going back for that first three times, and then
it gives you an excuse, and you can use an excuse. That's it. Like, I can't do it because of this.
I think everyone's got an excuse, and they love to use an excuse.
But we all do it. I did the same on Tuesday. Like, my laptop broke on Monday night. Tuesday, I was like, I've got some work to do. I can't do it because I've got the laptop. And then I was like, you got to do it on your phone. Oh yeah, but it's harder on my phone. So then you got to dig deeper. Like as it is, I didn't get all the work done, but I got bits of it done that I needed to do, as opposed to walking away, which is definitely something I would have done, before.
I think we're all sort of guilty of it, of sort of falling into those pits where it's just like, right, I'm just gonna make every excuse now not to do something and just sit and do nothing.
100%. You're right. We're all guilty of it, and we're all human, and we all make mistakes, and we've all got our flaws and stuff like that. And it's just, where do you sit on the spectrum of allowing yourself to fall into them traps? And that's it. And we, people like me and you, we're constantly just trying to get that little bit better, get that little bit better at this and that and all aspects of our lives.
Think, like, especially like procrastination.
Yeah,
Definitely kills a lot. Kills a lot off.
Oh yeah.
It's just because when I was struggling with my mental health, and it was a lot of like everything you didn't want to do. You just wanted to just exist and do nothing.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like all flipped where you get to the point where it's so low, like you're gonna change your life or you're just gonna keep spiraling down.
Yeah.
And I sort of made a decision to write what you can do about it.
Yeah.
And that's when I started like getting up at like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, going to the gym, like doing stuff like that. And then it kind of like went the opposite way where I just went so hard, going from nothing to a million.
Yeah.
It just like lasted for about a month and then I just crashed again from it. And it's just finding that balance of something sustainable that's going to keep your mind healthy and keep you going and not letting you slip back. And it's real hard. Like I find it real hard to find that balance.
I think, again, like everyone's guilty of it. And we see it in January the 1st when apparently everyone goes to the gym. I don't. Even January the 1st, you don't get me in there.
Yeah.
But you get everyone going there and they'll do 2 months of boiling chicken every day, chicken and broccoli, 4 litres of water, a little bit of added salt in the water or whatever it is. And that is it. No smoking, no drinking, no kebabs, nothing. And they'll do it for 2 months or 3 months. And then they'll be like, oh, I've done really well. I'll go to a party and this and that. And I see the same with people when they start this savings journey and this investing journey and stuff like that. And they go, right, that's it. I'm sorting my life out now. Okay. Yep. I'm not going out anymore. I'm going to start saving 50% of my wage and this and that. And it lasts for like 2 months. And like, I've done really well last 2 months. Now I'm going to go out and blow it.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
I always find this like, if you go too aggressive, from like nothing to everything, normally people don't stick with it.
Consistency beats intensity.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. You know, keep doing something for years and you'll have better results than if you just do it really hard for a month or 2 or something like that.
Yeah, that's just...
I've been working on because the thing is, you know, we're sitting here discussing this. We haven't got all the answers. We're on a journey, the same as everyone else, and sharing. You know, we're not the oracles, far from it. We're just talking about the things that we're trying to do.
Yeah, I think that's what's good though. I think it makes it more relatable. Yeah, but like people can relate to being in these situations.
I hope so, and hopefully this does bring value to people.
I always find like some like influencers, like you just can't relate on their level. So they talk to you, and then you're just like, well, have you actually been in my position? Yeah, like, yeah, it's kind of like that. I think it goes back to like starting with nothing. I think like a lot more people can relate to that, opposed to being at the top and not seeing that.
I think, to be honest, mate, I think everyone goes through pretty much the same stuff, and all these influencers and whatever, you know, they go through shit as much as anyone else. If anything, you could argue possibly more. The trouble is, they don't show it or talk about it. Yeah, they could be going through the worst time in their life, but they're still filtering it out and taking a quick snapshot of something in their life to make out that everything's perfect, and that's what's dangerous. Like, you know,
I think like, especially like the mental health movement at the moment, where a lot more people are speaking up about it. Yeah, like a couple of years ago, like if someone spoke up about it, you'd be like, man up, man. Like, stuff like that.
Man up. You can't say that anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
But it's just like people wouldn't want to show that part of their life. Yeah, like to put themselves.
Do you think that with the mental health movement or whatever, which is a serious thing, do you think it can go too far the other way, where it's almost people are like, oh, I'm anxious and I'm depressed and I'm this and that, and it's like, no, you're just making excuses.
I definitely think it can go the other way. Yeah. Like, someone thinks like just because they've had a bad day that they're depressed. Yeah. And stuff like that. It's just like the instant. Yeah. This problem's occurred, right? I must have a problem.
It's almost like the self-denial of, it can't be my fault. It's got to be something else's fault. Like, it's not my fault I'm not happy. It's, I must have anxiety. I must have depression. You know, this is from a trauma in my childhood or whatever. And again, like, they are all serious things. But I do think you can go too far and start using stuff.
I think a lot of people do have those issues. But
Yeah.
because it's become so big, like issues like that, which actually aren't really like relatable in that aspect,
Yeah.
they get sort of like sucked into it all.
Yeah.
And then it's just like people think they've got depression just because they've had like a bad 2 days. And
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when I was
Yeah.
in my depression, I was like months and months
Yeah.
of feeling it. It gets worse and worse and worse. And then like at the beginning, you're like, oh, well, it's just having a bad week and stuff like that. And then it just snowballs down and it gets worse.
We used to have, on that sort of subject, we used to have in our little WhatsApp group was Suicide Monday, we used to call it. And, you know, as younger men, you know, 26, 27, no responsibilities and none of this sort of stuff. Quite rightly, we worked hard and you go pub Friday, get, you know, absolutely off your box, go again on Saturday night, off your box, and guess what happens? Monday morning comes around and you feel like shit. You've eaten shit, you know, you've drunk ridiculous amounts of booze and all the rest of it. So Monday morning comes around and you feel rubbish.
Yeah.
And people in the group would be like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I'm so upset, I'm so depressed, I'm this and that.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, yeah, it's Suicide Monday. That's what we used to call it. I mean, probably not the best term we could have used for it.
A lot of people call it like the Monday blues, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. And then as the weeks would go along, it would literally be like by Wednesday, they'd start being a bit chirpier. Thursday, they'd come around and be like, oh, anyone fancy a pint tomorrow? And it'd be just a cycle that'd go round until Monday would come around again. And I'd be like, I don't know, I've got to get help. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like, mate, the help you need is a 2 litre bottle of Evian water. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know? But then exactly that. The flip side would be, they go, right, I'm sorting my life out now. I'm never going to the pub again. I'm not doing this and that. It's like, you enjoy going to the pub. Go to the pub. But maybe just have 4 pints and a burger as opposed to 8 pints, 4 tequilas, you know, 4 gin and tonics and going home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think it's all balanced. Like I gave up smoking, I gave up drinking, I just stopped with everything.
Have you given up still?
No.
Are we going for a beer after this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's your birthday today as well. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So
I've kind of like worked out like I can enjoy things like that.
Yeah.
In moderation.
And you haven't given up smoking actually, have you? Because I've been watching your Instagrams recently.
Yeah, I love a cigar now. Come on,
a big fat Cuban.
That's it. That is it. So I mean, it's about enjoying yourself along the way. I think, like at the end of the day, like we're all going to end up in the same place, like in the ground. Like enjoy your life a little bit along the way.
Yeah.
Like don't like being strict can work, but not with everything.
Yeah.
Like it's like discipline to do things, but then you've done those things, enjoy yourself a bit.
I think you're right. I think moderation can win. And, you know, you can work hard, build up a business and spend time with your friends and your family. And you can go to the gym and you can have a couple of beers. And, I mean, I'm not going to advocate smoking ever. But, you know, you can do all of these things.
Yeah, it's
you
just
can,
like
you know,
time management, really.
Yeah, you can go and buy new clothes and still save a little bit of money. But I find a lot in, again, like on social media, a lot of the time, particularly on Twitter and stuff like that, is no one can have a moderated opinion. It has to be, this is the worst thing that's ever happened, or this is the best thing that's ever happened. No one can be like, yeah, it's all right. And, you know, we see that when people are talking about politics and all sorts of stuff and footballers and things. They're like, yeah, he's going to be the best footballer there's ever been. Yeah. Or it's like, nah, shit, I want to have him in my club. It's like, Geezer's all right. Like, you know, he's all right.
There's never like an in-between.
No, that's it.
I think especially nowadays, everyone finds something to get offended at.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely something in here that someone will definitely get offended at.
Well,
but it's just...
I've got to admit, when I walked in and I saw the state of this table being bright red, I was offended.
That's it. It's just like people are almost like afraid to speak their opinion nowadays.
Yeah.
They think like it's going to offend someone.
Well, yeah, they are afraid to speak their opinion, or they've just got no filter and just say ridiculously ludicrous stuff to almost try and offend people.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that really what you think? Like, your thoughts are that extreme? Is that really your opinion? Yeah. And I kind of feel like it's not. They're just doing it for attention or reaction or
it's always like the way
like
you see people like putting out tweets and like random shit, and then you meet them in real life, they're completely different. You're like, hang on a minute, something doesn't add up here.
Yeah.
But it's always the way. Social media is the greatest tool and also the worst.
Yeah.
I find.